and of course excel at it, right? Continue to push myself, but to come regularly so that I'd have more energy to put into my fitness, right? This is part of my life, right? And a big one that brings me a lot of joy, but it's part of it, and it needs to, for me, this is absolutely the most important, to be able to give that energy to the rest of our family. So.
Hey, this is Annie from Fit People. I'm here with Hannah Hollier. We're just sitting down to talk about her journey here at Fit People and kind of all the things that she's done in her time with us at the gym. So hi, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so it's been 5 years, right? Like 2017 was when you first started.
It's been a wild ride.
End of 2017, and we're in spring of 2022. I guess give us a little background of where you were when you first started at Fit People.
Yeah, so I came in knowing it had been a while. I had Iris in 2016, and it had been a while. You know, it was hard to get back into any kind of routine, but I know I desperately needed it.
Yeah.
And
y'all had just moved here?
We just moved here, yeah, and I was actually going through what I think a lot of people do is, like, if you don't work out, you have a certain kind of soreness, right? And then you do work out, it's a different kind of soreness. And so to alleviate kind of that, actually went to a chiropractor to kind of see if I could get adjusted, get on the right track. Yeah. And that's where I heard lots of people in the office talking about one of the Fit People workouts, as we do, right? Yeah. Oh my God, whoa, those thrusters this day, or oh, this, you know. Yeah. And I thought, how rich is this that nobody's being paid, they just showed up and they're commiserating about this thing, and was listening and going, it just was that moment where I was like, well, so what could I do? All I could do is give it a try, right? Yeah. But I think a lot of people fall into, and this is what I did, was like, I know I needed to work out, and I know I needed that discipline every day in my life.
The accountability of it.
But it was like, the more people told you that, like, oh, you'll feel better if you feel better. It was like, you know, so that was the moment where I said, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try, right? And get into it, because I knew I needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's so true too. Like, you always, there's things that you need to do, and even when people are telling you to do it, and it's like there's still all these things that come up, and you're like, okay, well, I'll get to it next week, or or next month, or whatever. So I mean, I feel like everybody can relate to that.
Absolutely.
It's hard to. It's always, I feel like, hardest to like step foot in the door and get the process going. But then once you do, it's so easy to stay in it. Okay, so came in, did your assessment, and like at Fit People, we have, we say what we do is personal training on a group level, right? So anything that, a really good personal trainer would do is start off and do measurements and test and make sure we have all the components that we need for training. So you came in and did your assessment, and it's been 5 years now, or a little over maybe 5 years that we've been training. Yeah. Like, what was your, how did you feel after that first assessment? Or do you remember kind of like the first couple of months, like what you were experiencing or thinking?
What it was for me, and it continues to be this, is it told me what I knew. It wasn't as bad as I thought, right? We still had, both Big and I have the foundational blocks of being athletes from high school. So it was like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Yeah. But, there it is in black and white. Right.
Not where you want to be.
That's always something for, a little wake up. And then for us, having just moved here, of course, people have, their church, their favorite bar, their whatever, where they get that fellowship and camaraderie,
like
right?
Two combinations.
Well, that's why I did
Clearly you're from Louisiana.
Yeah, right. The neighborhood bar.
Yeah.
But this was for us, like, or at least for me, working out, you're getting this phenomenal workout on top of being able to, talk to all these incredible people that you guys have attracted to the gym because of you guys and what you started out, doing and holding on to a vision, of how you want to craft these workouts. So to me, it was like, you get a social hour. Being a working mom, it's like you get a social hour and, this great workout.
Yeah, and it's good, like, especially because you work from home, too, and moving here, it's a good way to, like, meet people. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of times will deter people from coming to group workouts is it's just seems so intimidating to walk into a space where, there's a big group of people working, especially if you've been out of shape and not been consistent with it. It can be super intimidating, but to be able to, once you get past that, to like experience the group aspect of it, and it's encouraging rather than kind of condescending or judgmental.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a pretty cool aspect of it too.
And you're also not doing, I've had several gyms where you go and then you get caught in a conversation with somebody and you're like, an hour and a half goes by.
Yeah.
Like, how much workout have you actually done? Like,
yes, for sure.
So this is like you're getting the social, but it's also commiseration through
we keep
both
you on
having
track.
to go get through this.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess let's talk a little bit about the journey in the last 5 years. So you had Iris before you started, but then within this time you went through another pregnancy and kind of worked out during that time. Had your baby, and then worked out coming back from. So we started off. There's 4 levels that we have here, right? So we started off in Hunter, or did we start off in Tracker?
Okay. Yeah.
So Seeker, Tracker, started off, moved to Hunter, and then there was a long time, especially with the baby and everything, where we were in Hunter.
Well, I got comfortable in Hunter. I'm the Hannah Hunter. It worked out.
I love that.
The Hollier Hunter.
Yeah, look at all those H's.
Oh.
Okay, so talk about that a little bit, because typically with like your journey here, you will at least do assessments once a year.
Yeah.
We try to like keep it to twice a year, but so we were doing reassessments all through that time. But we kind of, like you said, stayed within Hunter, tested, stayed about the same, improved, but also there were some areas that still were not moving to the point where you needed to get to move to the next house, right? So I guess talk a little bit about that experience for you. And I think mainly why I'm asking that is just I feel like in today's age, like people, it's just quick fix, right? Like that's what we're looking for, and it can happen, but it also, like, to tell the whole story and to really see change, it takes a while to kind of get there, and it takes patience and determination, and you for sure had that. I mean, patience, but just like you had that goal, and now we're getting towards the end of your journey with Fit People, unfortunately. But I guess just talk about that story a little bit, because it's powerful.
Well, I think I know now that everybody has their kind of, I say, bounce back time from having a child, but like I know it's pretty much 2.5 years, right? And everybody, of course, could be different, but for me, it was, I didn't want to sacrifice, like, oh, I'm only going to have, change my diet to be, bland chicken and rice, and I'm going to do this for a thing. And then, it was, I'm going to eat well, right? But also be there for my child, not stress about, this, not do it, too fast.
Yeah.
But I think the ultimate goal for me, and why I probably stayed in Hunter for a while, is because I really wanted to do something regularly, and of course excel at it, right? Continue to push myself, but to come regularly so that I'd have more energy to put into my family, right? This is part of my life, right? And a big one that brings me a lot of joy, but it's part of it, and it needs to, for me, this is absolutely the most important, to be able to give that energy to the rest of our family. So I was happy. I was very happy with Hunter, but it was never, it seems like, I really wanted to stay there, but of course, the goal is always, to kind of keep moving. And the cool thing is, I think with Tracker, I was chasing hunters, and hunters, I was always trying to chase predators. And that's the cool thing, I think, about all the houses in here, is that you can kind of always, start watching and well, she's doing okay, and to kind of push you out of your comfort zone.
So we just did your last assessment. So like we said, like Hunter, and a little bit of that time was pre-pregnancy and then
Yep.
post-pregnancy and then a couple after that. But we found out this year, like y'all been here for temporarily, I guess,
Yep.
while
Yep.
James is in school. And now we're finding out that, you're about to move and
Move back
move on to
home.
that next chapter.
Yeah.
But we did one more assessment, right? And everything that we have been like constantly kind of tweaking and pushing, like finally has gotten to that point where you hit your goal.
Yeah.
So I guess like, what does it feel like? What did you like? Is it what you expected? Now moving forward,
big proud moment.
Yeah.
Huge proud moment. Absolutely. And it's going to be a springboard for what we do. Luckily, we're moving into a community that's very active.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to have that kind of hold us up as well. But it also made me think, the first thing that popped into my mind when Taylor told me my number is like, it only took 5 years for me to listen to what you told me on day one. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But of course, I was chipping away at it,
and
right,
still
every
takes
time.
Like even if you have all the knowledge and it's still like you went through a lot of different things and changes within
life happens.
within the last 5 years. And like you said, you could make it all about the goal and just eating super clean and coming to your workouts and
Right.
doing all that stuff, but not being able to enjoy the process to get there.
Yeah.
And then just also life with your family in general. So you can be super extreme and you can get there quickly, but then sometimes when you get there, you don't appreciate like the time that it took because it is so fast. And then you can't hold on to it because it's been so fast.
Absolutely.
And then you just crash and go right back to where you were. So I think, yes, 5 years it took you to get to that point, but you also, I think, learn some like valuable lessons so that you can carry on for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Hopefully. And I think that's a really important lesson to learn because, like I said, in this day and age, everybody wants it super fast and super
yeah.
quick. And while that sounds great, there's not many things that you get from it other than you get what you want, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's hard then at that point sometimes to hold on to it. So I think,
And I'm so thankful that it was what we learned. I'll speak for Big as well,
Yeah.
but also our girls,
Yeah.
right? And they sit and watch and talking to my oldest about, I came home and I was so proud. She came off the bus and we talked about it and she was like, "Wow, Mom, that's really great." And talking to her about how long it took, and that, you got to recover after you have children and, your body's kind of different and this and that. And so she's seen all that. And I think all of that it's priceless.
Yeah. You're like teaching them super valuable
Yeah.
lessons too. Not just about, hitting the numbers that you want to, but also like the importance of just staying healthy and active, and you're teaching your girls that, and I think that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you sitting down and talking with us or with me. I don't even want to talk about the next month.
I know,
What's gonna happen
yeah.
because it's gonna make me start crying. But I've seriously enjoyed like having y'all work out with us and your
ditto.
support and encouragement and friendship has just meant so much to us. And
Same.
we're so excited for y'all and what's going to happen in the next year or so, but definitely hope that you come back and work out with us. And,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. We wear the Fit People gear proud.
Yeah,
We are.
represent us.